Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to do something a little bit different, and honestly, it is absolutely fascinating. We're stepping right into a grim, dark, Gothic fable to completely decode the profound philosophy of Friedrich Nietzsche. We'll be tracking the harrowing journey of a character we'll call the Seeker, and through his story, we're going to explore how you take the absolute darkest parts of existence and transform them into ultimate power. So let's just jump right in and set the scene.
Picture this. We cold open in the decay of the world, at what Nietzsche calls der große Mittag, the great noon. It's the moment when man stands in the exact middle of his course. Our seeker stands there, trembling, balancing on a tightrope. As Nietzsche wrote, man is merely a rope, geknüpft zwischen Tier and Überman, tied between beast and the overman. And right beside him, a figure known as the Sentinel sneers from the mud, mocking him as nothing more than a fragile bridge toward the unknown.
Now, the philological weight of the German word Abgrund here is incredible. It isn't just a physical drop, right? It is the terrifying, gasping void of nihilism. It's this bottomless chasm that humanity absolutely must precariously navigate if we ever hope to transcend the weaknesses of our own flesh.
So, the immediate tension of our fable centers on a pretty terrifying question. The seeker looks down at the writhing abyss below, completely haunted by that famous warning. Wer mit Ungeheuern kämpft, mag zusehen, dass nicht dabei zum Ungeheuer wird. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that he does not become a monster in the process. But here's the catch. Standing still means freezing in fear and ultimately succumbing to animal shame.
With a massive roar of defiance, the seeker acknowledges this really dangerous crossing. Der Mensch, der nicht mehr sich schämt, ist dem Tier ähnlich geworden. To lose that shame and regress is to become the beast. He accepts right then and there that the path to true greatness requires a terrifying walk between his primitive, animal heart and the distant stars.
Section 1. The Alchemist of Suffering.
Deep in a lightless thicket, the seeker clutches a bleeding, agonizing wound. But then, he has this crushing realization. Nicht der Schmerz ist das Problem, sondern die Sinnlosigkeit des Leidens. The physical pain actually isn't the true poison here. The real threat is the unbearable meaninglessness of that suffering. You see, pain without purpose is what truly destroys us.
Section 2. The Red Spirit's Truth.
Suddenly, a mocking figure called the Red Spirit emerges from the shadows of the World Tree, and a seriously heated debate just erupts between them. The seeker practically begs, "Give me the objective facts. Tell me why I must endure this sterile reality." But the Red Spirit just laughs, a sound like cracking ice. He says, "You seek facts? Clinging to a cold, sterile reality is a fool's errand. Es gibt keine schönere Lüge als eine größere Lüge. There is no more beautiful lie than a great one." The Spirit fiercely argues that objective truth is just a myth, and that a self-created myth, your personal interpretation, is vastly more powerful for the human soul.
The Spirit leans in close and whispers this profoundly disruptive philosophical truth. Es gibt keine Tatsachen, nur Interpretationen. There are no facts, only interpretations. He basically insists that the seeker's entire history of pain is not some objective tragedy. It's just clay, and it's meant to be actively forged into a grander, self-created myth. And this marks the exact moment the seeker's perspective completely shifts. Ecce homo, wie man wird, was man ist. Behold the man, how one becomes what one is. He accepts that no one is coming to hand him a neat, tidy reason for his suffering. He literally has to author a new story from his own broken spirit.
Section 3. Birth of a Dancing Star. The narrative then takes us inside the hollow tower of the seeker's mind, where the sterile walls of his logic finally crumble. A sage within the tower proclaims, "Man muss das Chaos in sich haben, einem tanzenden Stern das Leben zu geben." One must have chaos within oneself to give birth to a dancing star. The sage is urging him to harness that raw, terrifying internal storm, rather than try to repress it.
Let's just break down this brilliant sequence of self-overcoming. First, he acknowledges that his suffering inherently lacks meaning. Second, he completely rejects stagnant calm, what Nietzsche beautifully likens to die Stille des tiefen Gewässers, the stillness of deep waters, the stillness of the herd. Third, he embraces his internal chaos. And finally, he authors his new myth through the fever of the sacred dance.
Das Tanzen gilt mir als Gleichnis für das Höchste. Dancing stands for me as the image of the highest thing. Here we see how the physical, joyous act of dancing literally becomes his visceral weapon. It is a direct, deliberate rejection of meaninglessness. The dance isn't just movement for him, it's the ultimate act of defiance, actively creating meaning and joy out of absolute despair.
Der Mensch muss überwunden werden, und zwar von sich selbst. Man must be overcome, and specifically by himself. The seeker's limbs move in this sacred geometry of fire. He completely transforms his internal discord into a blinding light, leaving that mocking sentinel totally blinded in the mud below.
Section 4. Amr Fati, Final Transmutation.
Finally, at the terminal end of time, the seeker stands at the iron threshold. Now, what's absolutely essential to understand here is the concept of Amr Fati. It is the final key to complete self-mastery. Translating to the love of fate, it is Nietzsche's ultimate formula for human greatness. It means looking at every single moment of your life, every pain and every joy, and desiring absolutely nothing to be different.
Declaring this directly to the unblinking sun, he shouts his victory. Dass man nichts anderes haben will, vorwärts nicht, rückwärts nicht, in alle Ewigkeit nicht. He wants nothing other than it is, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity. He claims his deepest trauma and his greatest triumphs equally, as his own unique masterpiece. I just find this so powerful. By embracing the absolute totality of his dark history, without a single shred of regret, he achieves this philological zenith. He has become the Übermensch, the Overman. Ich lehre euch den Übermenschen. He is now a creator who says a resounding yea to the eternal recurrence of his very own abyss.
And with that massive realization, the transitional rope simply vanishes right beneath his feet. He laughs as he falls into the sky because he realizes he is no longer a bridge. He is no longer a transition. He has entirely become the creator of his own reality.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought from our fable today. Take a real look at the scars you carry. If you were forced to repeat every single moment of your deepest suffering for all eternity, could you say "Ya" to the abyss and dance anyway? I challenge you to take that chaos within you, reject the quiet stillness of the herd, and go give birth to your own dancing star.